What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Recap Reactions. I've taken a couple days off. Jets have been playing some pretty good hockey, and here we are going into this big matchup, game 9 out of 82 for the Jets 2023-2024 campaign, the Blake Wheeler return game. I was pretty excited for this one, just because I really want to see how bad Blake Wheeler was going to kind of be out there. I'm not going to lie, I love the tribute. It's great seeing him, but I know how rough of a season he's had so far. And it was a rough game for Blake Wheeler, so, you know, take that as you will, but I just got to get that out there. Welcome back, Wheels, but man, I'm glad you're not on this team anymore. Yikes, that was a bad game for him. So what's going on? Welcome back to Recap Reactions. We lose in overtime. Again, back-to-back losses in overtime. We lost to the Habs in the last game. We lose to the Rangers in this one. Both Eastern Conference teams that we get a point against in an overtime game. We lost in the shootout as a shade of the Habs, but we lose in the overtime to this one. Look, at the end of the day, this is my logic, my thinking when it comes to West versus East Coast matchups. Really, this doesn't affect the standings as much right now in the early parts of the season. Like, we're not racing with the Rangers for a spot, and, you know, the same goes for the Rangers against us. Two different conferences. Both of these teams, one team gets a point, we get a point. Same with the last matchup against the Habs. It's early. Yes, I would love to get 2 points in these games, especially that Habs game. It never should have went to a shootout. But at the end of the day, getting a point in the early parts of the season, it's crucial. These overtime loss points, they can be the difference between getting a team into the playoffs and not. We've seen it time and time again recently, and that's just kind of how I feel about it right now. I'm not even 10 games into it. 2 back-to-back overtime tie losses, whatever you want to call it. I'm calling it an overtime loss, regardless of a shootout. Either way, you know, you get the points. So I feel pretty good about that. You know, I like the way this team is playing. You know, I do. At the end of the day, I have no expectations of this team, so if I'm going to get some entertaining hockey, I'm happy with that. Tonight was entertaining hockey, and so was the last game, and so was kind of this last stretch of games for the Winnipeg Jets, you know. They're 4-3-2 now. 4-3-2, yeah, I believe that's their record now. So, you know, they're kind of right where we kind of thought they would be, I would say, at this point of the season. They could be better. The offense has definitely been dynamite compared to where the defense has been. You know, tonight Nate Schmidt was on the power play. I don't know why, but we're going to leave that where it is because I don't need to get ranty about that. This whole game tonight didn't really, like, make me angry. Even when we lost, I was just like, shit. Same with the last game, you know, it's just kind of how it goes. Like I said, losing to an Eastern Conference team, getting a point in the overtime, you know, minutes, shootout minutes, whatever it goes. I like that. I like that they get the point. I think that that's good for the standings, and they're playing good games. Yes, they should have beat the Habs. Tonight's game, they weren't as good down the stretch defensively, but at the same time, the Jets' defensive game tonight with the forwards and the defensemen for the first, I would say, you know, 50 minutes of this game probably, was really good by the Jets. And, you know, you have to remember, this is a game where the Jets were already losing 1-0 very quickly in a minute and a half into the game pretty much on a tip-in goal for Panarin, his 5th of the season. You know, it's already 1-0. Things, you know, that's a pretty typical Jets start, I would say, to start this year, so you're not liking that. But then the Gus Bus comes in, gets his 2nd of the season, assisted from Perfetti on a dog play from Perfetti, just fighting off sticks left, right, and center entering the Rangers zone. It was a great play, great setup pass, and Gustafsson is just looking awesome on that line. I'm really seeing David Gustafsson finally blossom into an NHLer is just so rewarding, because I've been on this guy's case for a long time. I've really liked him ever since we drafted him, like, 4 years ago now in the 2nd round, I believe. You know, he's just been a good prospect. He's grown, and you've seen so much growth and development in every level of his game in each season. And last year, he got really, you know, bit in the butt by the injuries. He really didn't get a chance to be consistent with the Jets. And it looks like this year, because of the great preseason he had, he's earned that spot. And I, for one, couldn't be happier because I think he's definitely freaking earned it. 2 goals already before the 10-game mark for a bottom sixer in his full-time rookie season. You gotta love that. 3rd period starts up because the 2nd, you get no goals. It's a good back-and-forth battle, good goaltending matchup. Hellebuck making good saves in there. You had great saves being made over there from Shesterkin. You know, this was a fun game in that 2nd period, I gotta say. And then the 3rd period starts up, and bang, the Jets finally get their goddamn lead, 2-1 off the back of Nikolai Ehlers from Cole Perfetti and Mark Scheifele. Perfetti with a 2-point game tonight. Really good game from him. That's his 5th assist on the season already. Really looking good up there, and I hope they start to give him more of a role with this team, because Perfetti is just looking like a dog to start this year, and I love it. But then Kreider is going to tie things up at 13-12 into the 3rd period on a power play goal. And before you know it, we're going in overtime, and that's when Mika Zibanejad gets his 2nd of the season from Panarin and Miller. And that's going to be the game winner, 3-2 the final. And like I said, this game had a lot of good moments in it. The offense played good. The defense, even though I'm not a fan of the Jets' defense right now, they played well for the most part. It sucks that they couldn't get the win for this game. It really does. But at the end of the day, you're not going to win every game. And I really wanted them to win this one. Don't get me wrong, but getting the points is important. It's not like they lost in regulation the last couple of times. They're getting points. That's important. They're playing good hockey still. It's just they're not getting they're not being consistent enough in the early parts of the season because the defense is being weak at times, and the forwards you have to cover. And the forwards this year, defensively, it's kind of shocking how much of a 180 it's been. Even Scheifele, for that matter, his efforts, night and day, I gotta say that. And I love seeing them because for once it feels like my faith in the forward core with their defense is actually, hey, I'm not worried as much out there. And that's the Jets we're talking about. And I've been a lifelong Jets fan, and every damn season I am worried about the defense the forwards are going to be playing that night. Because they're pretty much non-existent. But tonight, it was really good. And this season, overall, I feel like the forward core, the defense they play, and how responsible they are at times, it's grown in each game. Now, it's not much, but I see it, and that's big to me. I like that as a defensive-minded player and myself when it comes to hockey, and just any time that, I watch hockey, I think that, defense should be a lot more focused. It's how you can maintain control of the game and how you win games that are close like this. And the Jets just ended up, giving a little bit too much room to the Rangers, especially in that overtime, that Zibanejad goal. They just picked apart the Jets defense on that zone rush, and it sucks. But like I said, you get a point. There's a lot of good in this game. I don't know, I'm not going to be out here bashing the Jets every night this season, guys, because what's the point? We don't know what this team is yet, so you can hate me if you want for not being so angry if you are, and that's fine, but let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, because I'm feeling pretty good right now where the Jets are going into the 10-game mark. I like it. I think that their record could be better, and, look at the last 2 games. If you add those 2 wins to their record, they're looking a lot better than where they are right now, and I think that's important. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. They lost this game in the Wheeler return. It sucks, but I'm happy with the effort they gave. They get the point, and that's really all that matters when it comes down to it. The next game, let me just pull up the schedule real quick. I don't know why, I can't remember. Also, shout out to the old man if you're watching this. He's in Winnipeg right now, and he went to this game tonight, so gotta love that he actually got to see the Wheeler return in live. Next game is going to be against Vegas on Thursday. That'll be a big game. Looks like we're going to be in Vegas for that one, so I don't know. We'll have to see. But I am excited for that one, and honestly, the Coyotes game after. The Jets coming, the next 4 games are going to be the Knights, the Coyotes, the Blues, and the Predators, and then the Stars. A lot of central matchups these games. This is going to be a really good test for the early parts of the season to see how the Jets are going to fold into the Central. Really looking forward to the stretch coming up, going into next Saturday, honestly. This next week of hockey coming up, week and 2 weeks of hockey, it's going to be important for the Jets. These games are going to be really good gauges at the 10, 12, 13 game mark to kind of see where they're playing against Central Division teams. So yeah, lots of hockey coming up, lots of important games to see how this team's going to improve, or if they're just going to be treading water, and that's the Jets we have this year. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. As always, hope you enjoyed this video. Peace and positivity as always. Go Jets, go. I'll see you guys in the next one. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Check out all the other affiliate links down in the description below, and bye-bye. It'll all be over. It'll all be over.